Good morning, Jim Piccola.
Good morning, guys.
By the way, the better part of that song was actually Jim Piccola's impression of.
Yes.
The colors of his vest are bright this morning.
Jim Piccola. First of all, before we get into we're coming up on this this bridge, this closure there at Route 8, and it's happening this weekend, right?
Yes, sir.
So, but before we get to that, we were talking this morning about that Italian bridge where 30 people, I believe, were killed.
Yeah,
it's terrible. And, this is an infrastructure thing. This is why it's so important for us to be replacing and working on these bridges and these roads, especially in the Northeast where it's older.
Oh, absolutely.
And then we talked about the bridge collapse that happened in 1987, was it? On the New York State Thruway out near Amsterdam, the Schoharie Creek or River, whatever it is there. Yes. I was on that road. I was on the Thruway the day of and the day after, and so unfortunate. The 10 people died. They're right off into the water. No idea that the road had just gone away.
Yeah,
it was really terrible.
Yeah, I had traveled over that bridge the weekend before, and I was down in Schenectady and went down and came back, and yeah, it was very scary. Absolutely. So,
and then the picture you sent us. Did you send us that photo this morning?
Yes.
If you drive by there, and again, it's the like RV place that's off to the left hand.
Alpine House.
Alpine House. Yep. Haus, house. Yep. And it's on the left hand side as you're heading towards Albany. When you go over that bridge that's there today and was replaced. If you look down, it's quite the ravine down there to that creek. It's way down. But when you look at the picture that you showed, the flooding was so bad, it was almost up to the thruway the water was, which is what took that bridge out.
Yeah. It was, well, if you look at that area, the watershed, and, that comes down to that creek, It's amazing. And, again, you had record rainfall at the time. And what had happened, my understanding of it was that the center pier, it didn't have what they call piles driven underneath. So the scour and actually took out that center piece, and then the
whole thing collapsed.
Dropped. Yeah.
So people coming up on that, I believe at the time I read a story about somebody who saw one of the cars go over and stopped right at the edge. And you imagine in the thruway, the worry is that somebody's going to run at the back end of you and push you off that now cliff. But so you're saying that there are things in place today that would prevent one of those big floods and the power of water from washing a bridge like that out.
Yeah, a lot of the bridge abutments and piers now have these piles that are driven down to bedrock or to refusal. And so, again, when you have stuff like, and we've seen it in the floods here, I have pictures back a few years ago where all of the material underneath the abutments or the piers are washed away and the piers are intact and the piles are holding the bridge and the piers up from falling.
Wow, boy, it's pretty huge. So what's being done on this bridge? Why this bridge? Is it time? Is there any danger, or are we preventing something like that from happening?
No,
because they're flooding over where this bridge is. Yeah. There's always a lot of flooding. Of course, not at the bridge. It's down in that the
Sequoia Creek.
That's Sequoia Creek. But
yep. The bridge was built in 1966. It's had 2 rehabs since that, and the deck, is definitely in need of repair. So, but one of the things we're doing with what we call an accelerated construction is we had precast panels made. So what we'll do is we'll replace this bridge deck within 4 days, 3.5 days.
Incredible.
As compared to doing a job where we would have to probably have 2 seasons to complete this. Push traffic to one lane in each direction, complete one side, get that done, and then come back the next year and then do the same thing.
Wow.
So we hope everything goes well. We're going to shut the bridge down on Friday at 6 o'clock, this Friday, August 17th.
6 p.m.
6 p.m., and then reopen it Tuesday morning at 6 a.m.
What is that going to mean for businesses over there? I know we were over with Joe Griffo the other day, Chuck Sedella, and Daylight Donuts. Curious as to how that'll affect their business over there. There'll be a detour, I'm assuming.
Yeah, there'll be detours around the area. Again, if this was in an area where it was in the middle of nowhere. We just tell people to avoid it. But because we are in an area where, the village that has businesses and stuff like that, we're just telling people if you don't have to go there for a specific reason to stay away. But if you do, give yourself some time, because there's going to be some traffic through there. And we are working with the businesses. We'll make sure we got some signs to, people that are looking to go through can get around, into the village of New Hartford. Also, there is going to be a pedestrian access on the, it would be the south side. So folks that are walking will be able to go through the whole construction.
All right, so it begins Friday at 6 p.m.
Correct.
And you guys should be completed by
Tuesday morning. The 21st.
And that'll be this weekend, so make your plans for that, Andrew.
And really quick, you guys were heavily involved with the president's visit on Monday. I saw some of the big trucks helping to close down roads and stuff, so everything went smooth on your end?
Everything went smooth. I know, a few people were not too happy with all the traffic back up, but again, we couldn't.
I thought it was kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
absolutely.
It was definitely exciting, but the traffic alone, I didn't love it. But, we're not used to bumper to bumper. It's like, wow, what if the city could be like this all the time?
Yeah. Again, we're always trying to minimize the impact to the traveling public, let folks know what's going on. But because, of the security issues, we couldn't let folks know what roads were going to be closed.
Until the last minute.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of come up on it, and that's what it is, And our folks did a great job, working with the state troopers and the Secret Service, blocking off those areas and providing access for the president.
Pretty cool. I saw a lot of those trucks that were really serving as obstacles for anybody that would want to try to do something stupid.
Correct.
Okay.
This is what Bill asks you to do every time you're in, by the way. You think you can close down that intersection when you think I'm coming through just to make it a bit easier?
What I want to do is to make the light change as soon as I get up to it. That's what I look for.
You give him one of those little buttons there.
Yeah. Give him a preempt system like the fire department.
Yeah, I figured out the trick on a couple of these, though, how to where you stop is important. When you come up, if there's one of these triggers that is in the ground or a laser thing, where you stop your vehicle is important. And I'm not saying don't stop and go right through the intersection. I'm saying there's an area that kind of gets it to, at least I think it is, and maybe it's just coincidence.
No, there is, yeah.
There is,
Yep,
okay.
the traffic loops that are in the pavements, they go a little bit before the stop bar, and they go back quite a ways, and
I got to tell you, sometimes I get frustrated. I get out, I start jumping up and down, and that doesn't work at all. So
no.
Not since I lost the weight.